Salutations, you degenerates, and welcome back to another NBA video. This subject is not dealing with a team or a subject of league. We're actually moving even closer. We're going to talk about a player in the NBA. And this so-called player is named Kyrie Irving. Now, if you've heard this name before, which you most likely have, even if you don't watch the NBA, you probably know Kyrie Irving. Why do you know Kyrie Irving? Because this man loves to talk, and when he talks, it usually shoots him in the foot. And it's starting to become one of the most disappointing making his career one of the most disappointing careers, one of the most disappointing aspects, and he just keeps shooting himself in the foot. So why is this happening? Who is Kyrie Irving if you don't know? And is it truly over? Well, that's what we hope to discuss here. What may be perhaps cruel irony is that Kyrie Irving grew up in Australia, and if you know anything about the Flat Earth movement, some people believe Australia does not exist. Well, Kyrie Irving is proof that Australia exists, and yet he is a part of the same school of thought, which is very cruel irony. He grew up there, played there a while, and is known for his incredible scoring ability in his early life. And Kyrie Irving was definitely a player that was destined for greatness. So he went on to his NBA career, and let's see what happened to him. Alright, so if you were going to talk about Kyrie Irving's career, there'd be like several sections that you would talk about Kyrie. There is the Cavs section, where honestly, Kyrie kept to himself mostly. All of his comments, everything that's been like affecting his play that isn't injuries and it's just talk, that didn't happen until post-Cleveland. Sure, he talked to the media a lot. He liked to complain. There were several aspects of his team he didn't like, and he was not shy to talk about it. But Kyrie as a whole mainly stayed quiet when he in the Cavaliers and was very serviceable and true and was a good second player to LeBron. And later on in this Cavs career, he was really showing that, hey, maybe this guy can be the main player. And that's what many were thinking at that time, is like, will Kyrie stay in Cleveland, or does he want to be the man somewhere else? Because he has the ring. Now it's time to further his career. His Cavaliers point is just, it looks pretty good just because of how successful he was at a certain point and how, everyone was excited at the end of 2017. Where will Kyrie Irving's career go? He has so much left. It will be so exciting. But once the trade for Isaiah Thomas in Boston happened, things started to go downhill. Now, why did things go downhill for Kyrie Irving? Well, the first season on Kyrie's stint in Boston, he made a comment about Flat Earth, which is actually very interesting because Flat Earth seems to be a very polarizing subject nowadays. And then it's really truly started to emerge, the school of thought. I know everyone can't comprehend how genius the flat Earth take is, which is why Kyrie Irving got some flack for it. And well, that didn't really prevent his playing that much. He still got hurt a little bit, but he still played on Boston. What really was seen as a failure for his Boston performance was not his stats. It was just he was terrible for the chemistry of the young developing Boston Celtics team, and that is shown because the Boston Celtics have been quite a bit better without him on the team. He was truly a dampener on the squad, and funnily enough, the Cavs and the Celtics really didn't benefit at all from this trade. If you look, all these players were either out of the league very soon or they were actively hurt their team. So when you look at that and that trade as a failure as a whole, Danny Ainge being a bad GM, that's funny. You go to his last chapter, and that chapter has to deal with his stint in Brooklyn. Now, this is where his talking started to really impact his game. Kyrie, at this point, is no longer a media darling. He's, whatever he says will be endlessly ridiculed by every single sports publication out there. But when he truly got into Brooklyn, and that was when COVID started going around, it truly started impacting his play. So what did I mean by that? Well, 2020 and 2021 are probably his best statistic years ever, with the amount of games he played. And he wasn't hampered by COVID restrictions yet. He did suffer a little bit of injuries, but he was doing a great job on Brooklyn and was showing as an option. So much so that Nets wanted to make a push and trade for James Harden somewhere around that time. But things started to shift once COVID regulations started wrapping up for the NBA. So what happened? Well, in the 2022 season, Brooklyn's mayor made it clear that if you are not vaccinated, you are not playing the Barclays Center. And that was that was a lot for most of the teams there. So Kyrie ended up missing about 50 of his 82 games that season, and it actively destroyed his play and destroyed his team. So Kyrie not getting vaccinated and being able to play, what this caused, KD got hurt and James Harden, because James Harden is weak mentally. He can't win on his own. He can't win if he's the best player. He said, "I didn't join this team just so I have to be the man and lose again." Because he got his mental crushed. I might do a video on James Harden later. The Spurs, 2016, 2014 series, I think it was 2016, that crushed him. That crushed his competitiveness. He's never competitive again. The Manu Ginobili block, if you remember, absolutely destroyed him. But anyway, this isn't about James Harden. But James Harden took this and said, "I'm out." So he got traded away to 76ers. So that put everyone else on the team on blast because those were the main three. You know, the game was supposed to revolve around those three. James Harden left, and this offseason was such a joke. KD wanted gone. Kyrie wanted gone. People were saying Westbrook for Kyrie was happening, which is fucking ridiculous. But it was pure, unadulterated chaos. And yet, they stayed in Brooklyn. Somehow, someway, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving stayed in Brooklyn. But it was all for naught. Even with the COVID restrictions finally letting up, everyone was hoping, praying, Kyrie Irving will be back to play. He's here to stay, and he's here to play. He pulled a fucking Kanye. He finally had a chance to really prove himself. It's been 7 years since he's been in the Cavs, and we were all wondering, what will happen if Kyrie goes without LeBron, goes out to his own like the budding young man he is. He fucking Kanye's, and his fucking career's probably over from it. That's crazy! He Kanye'd! Oh my... Does he not... He seems to be on Twitter so much and fucking looking at social media so much. How does he not know that his career would be fucking over if he Kanye's? Oh my god. It's so much potential, man. If you were to ask some people at certain times, people would tell you Kyrie Irving was a top 3 point guard. And some people would even say, and I'd probably say it, off the dribble, he's probably one of the greatest scorers ever. That is unfucking deniable, mate. And he killed his career. He killed it. All his sponsors are dropping. Everything is not going away. He's suspended for now, but it's looking like gonna be far more. The silver bald man is just not gonna let up on him, it seems. He fucking killed his career. And it seemed like I was gonna do a whole fucking documentary or something on Kyrie, and how interesting it is. No, it's not interesting anymore. He fucking killed his career. He was good at some point. He could have been the man. He fucking killed his career. And now Brooklyn destroyed the Knicks last night, but is struggling as a team as a whole, and they will only have KD for what it seems like. And KD wanted out this offseason anyway, because he knows he doesn't trust Kyrie. He doesn't see a roster that works here. KD is just almost as bad as Harden, just wanting to go teams that he wants other star players. He can be the man, KD. And that's something James Harden can't do. But oh my god, Nets are fucked. Maybe with the new head coach they keep playing well, but oh my god, Kyrie just destroying his own career and making a lot of people hate him. I think fucking James Harden and Kevin Durant hate the shit out of him. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, well, that's my fucking turn into a rant on Kyrie Irving. I hope you enjoyed yourselves.